second pick in that regard, which is quite interesting as well. But going into this second ban phase, supports and I was just going to have a look at support and top laners from the side of Schalke, something you can take away. And yep, they're just going to continue on the Kerberos litter. Nasus being the one getting taken off the table.
It makes sense, especially because a lot of Kerberos picks are niche picks, and that's what he has had most success on back in the NLC. His Darius, Fiora, and these Nasus picks having a way higher win rate than the traditional meta picks when he locked those in. So trimming that pool makes a lot of sense, as it is Dusty who are now trying to target a bit of decay here with that R being removed.
Yeah, interesting to see the Ari. Of course, the charm stops the dashes coming through from a LeBlanc, and it's just one of the meta champs. You, of course, I still think Lissandra is something that could be a threat, and at least would force out some cleanses on Merc Treads, and LeBlanc when Merc Treads is never something you're too happy about. Yep, on the side of Schalke, going to continue on the Kerberos train. Makes sense. Banning out some of these champions, and I think the Renekton is still available to play on the top side for Kerberos if he wants to go in there. Yep, there it comes out for Dusty. Lissandra will finally get taken off the cards.
So what will be locked in here now for Schalke, no theories. They could look for either mid lane or their support role, as at the moment they're hovering more towards that Vega. Could obviously change as the mid lane matchup is already known. You would expect that pick to come in, and that's actually a Galio.
Not too bad. Still something that can lock down the LeBlanc should she dash forward and not be too aware of the taunt to immediately come out from DK. Of course, could also be a flex towards the support position. We don't know yet, but as you said yourself, knowing the enemy mid lane already, there's not really a necessity for that flex picks. And then down towards the bot side, are we pairing this up with an Engage, or are we looking for something Enchanter-esque? And it looks to be more Enchanter-esque. The main concern I have for Dusty's composition right now is that they lack that Engage. They have a lot of pick potential, they have a jungler to play for as well if he gets priority, but the problem is you don't have any immediate form of CC. So
what are you
looking at that
then?
top side.
What would you like for CC down?
I mean, you can
Engage?
just match the on here if you're
Just
really looking for it, right?
Yeah,
of course, there is the Renekton if you want to play just like win lane, win game kind of matchup instead. But I feel like On has the value for this team comp that you're currently lacking. No, it's just going to be another one for Kerberos. It's going to be the Mordekaiser. You know what? That's on me for suggesting something that would have been meta.
You can't do that to Kerberos, man. The man doesn't play meta, he plays whatever he wants. I mean, is your best Engage now just a Graviton, Moonlight Vigil, hoping for the best from Den Voxne to try and snipe someone out? Hostile Takeover also a chance. Handshake maybe, or one shot from background could do something. Regardless, I want to look at the bot lane that Schalke and No Fears just built for themselves. Take set on the Draven and a Mumu for Lilith. How do you feel about that, people?
I definitely feel like you can look for engages down here. Renata, if she gets caught off guard, well, you will just be forced to flash. And I think when level 6 comes through from Jaeger, that's where you're really looking for plays with DK as well. We even saw that in the first game of today where Mochko was piloting that mid-jungle duel with a Wukong and a Galio. So certainly something that has to be respected. And specifically when you're just made up of squishies from Dusty. Some of them are slippy, some of them are not. And I think if you get caught off guard when you're on the immobile champions, you are going to be struggling a little bit. I actually think Dusty's team comp is a little hard to play. They'll have to get the lead throughout the mid jungle. You have a Graves, you have a LeBlanc to play for with that invades or whatever you're looking for. But if Den Voxne is your main carry, then you don't have the best frontline really to facilitate him. So that's going to be interesting.
And talking about Den Voxne, this guy has never progressed when he has made it to the Amazon European Masters. He made it with Vipers Inc. down in the plains, went 2-4, didn't move on. Qualified with Tricked as the first seed just last summer, after reverse sweeping the finals, ironically enough. Went 2-4, didn't make it through the group stage, so it would be very huge for him to make it out, and Dusty in particular in those best of 5 have been ruthless reverse sweeping X7, for example.
But there's no reverse sweeping a best of 1 duckling.
Yeah, exactly.
What do they do now?
I mean, let's be honest. They had a shaky start to the split, but Dusty, at the end of the best of 1 stage, you know, the regular season, they had a 10-game win streak. So I'm confident enough that these guys can play best of 1s as well.
Minions have spawned.
We'll find out.
You're really doubting the NLC here. You leave our region, and then you join the LFL, and now you're just cocky like, oh yeah, NLC first seed is not going to make it out.
Well,
You're dating yourself.
They're looking, I'm not saying they're not in a good position, because of course Dusty have looked good. I mean, fun fact about Dusty, I do believe that their main source of income, or funding rather, comes from the Icelandic fishing industry. So that's a little one for you there. And actually, wow. So I don't know if anyone spotted each other there, and if they didn't, that's actually so impressive. So late invade for Dusty, but late invade coming through from Schalke 04 as well, and they all just went out, and now the pings are coming through. They're like, what? They're in the jungle? Hello, guys? How did that happen?
What is going on as Linkers? I think you might need to be a little bit careful here, depending on what Jaeger does. Now waiting to see. He goes towards the Raptors instead, so he will look to take those. As Linkers continues to take away at his blue side. Jaeger, though, will meet him here. I think they realize something is going on. Smite not available for Linkers. Jaeger could steal this away. So we gotta look at the replay. No one. I mean, they were spotted on the wall, but it was instantly disabled. As Linkers,
okay.
you lose this, man. You don't have a smite, so Linkers just forced to flash. Jaeger, not a jungler, but still bunks his opponents.
Yeah, and just like that, force out of the opposition's jungle here. They haven't really traded too much in terms of camps, right? You only got one small Raptor.
Oh my, Jaeger, he's on a streak here. He's not going for the mid lane red buff. Taking us well, of course, so we'll slow down Backlund, not force any sums. The trade back though from Backlund. I mean, you might need to be careful here. Ignite! One more auto would do it! But the taunt is clutch, as you say. Level up as well. Jaeger is out, and that's a big brain play. He managed to get both sums from Backlund.
Well, it's certainly an early game we've had for ourselves here. No kills have fallen through, but it had delivered on the action front. Top side, Kerber is farming, and he could actually even look to get some aggressive vision if he wanted to. Not going to crash this wave, so it's not going to be allowed. But this Mordekaiser pick is certainly something that's going to come online when you finally reach that level 6. Up until that point, you're really just clearing in waves. You can shove in this wave, you can make it bounce, you can go for cheetah recall. But outside of that, not expecting too much of it. And even with the jungle pathing of Jaeger and even Decay hovering topside, I don't really see Kerberos getting too aggressive up here just yet.
And talking about Elite Join, it is very important for me to make it clear. This guy is first of all a support player. The only other team that he has played competitive for is some team that I've never heard of. No logo, Astana. And when was that, you might ask? 2017. What has he done since then? Well, he spent 2022 being a substitute, a support substitute for Schalke 04. So he's really being thrown into the heat here. Straight into the fire. Role swap. Amazon European Masters group stage. Best of luck, buddy, as he will try to survive against Kerberos.
I mean, hopefully he can still support them in the communication instead then and you know, make the most of the situation. Here he comes. That bounce we talked about, Kerberos though, not looking to let it. Feels like you just want to have that priority on the top side all the time. Push it in, see how much you can trade away from the Chower slowly but surely. And didn't even go for that cheetah recall either. So Kerberos remaining happy on his little island in the top side instead. Whereas resets are finally coming through from the two junglers here. You can see it now. Linker's just been away, picked up 2 long swords. Jaeger's going to recall now as well. Might even pick up a... Nope, it's just going to be the Sheen here. No boots coming through either.
And I want to take my eyes back on the bot lane for just a second as takes it. Will obviously continue to stack up his adoration stacks while we are talking about other things. He is though 6 CS behind, so important to look at what happens here, because the longer nothing happens in the bot lane, the more important the fight becomes. The more time it gets to get these adoration stacks, the more important that kill becomes. So we're waiting to see what happens there in the end. A Drake has now spawned as well, so maybe more attention will be turned towards these bot lanes.
But for now, of course, not much have happened just yet outside of that early game action that we saw. And then, I mean, you can stack it up. You can wait for those adoration stacks. The execute will come through. But what you're really looking for, of course, to play for is the level 6 for Lilib as well. Then Voxnick could be a target.
What a shame.
But of course, having Sten would be more reliable, seeing as he doesn't have cleanse, but then Voxnick have. And now Lilib, in a Mumu spirit, former jungler, apparently, have started up the Drake, of course. And Jaeger's going to be making his way in here to pick up the early Drake for himself.
Yeah, I guess he just roll swapped himself. Like, nah, man, I'll take the jungler role from here on out. I don't really need you, as they will secure this. Linkers is in the top side, so he can't really contest. And 6 minutes in, it has been an eventful 6 minutes, but no first blood. Is there anything in particular where we would expect some more action here and get the place for the first bit of blood being shared?
I'll be honest, not really. What I'm looking for when I'm looking for anyone who would get aggressive would be the Draven. But I'm looking at a Galio, right? I'm looking at a LeBlanc, but that LeBlanc is into the Galio, so not much is going to happen. Mostly that's a 2v2 kind of thing. And for that, we're waiting for level 6. If anyone were to make any plays, though, it'd probably be Jaeger and Decay now that he's finally picked up the ultimate. But even on the top side, surely won't get any kills, right? I mean, surely.
I mean, you have to remember, that's a Sejuani, man. I mean, Elite Join might be a support main, but he should be able to survive on a Sejuani.
He can play Sejuani support.
That's actually true. Hylissang did that 2018 MSI against, I believe it was RNG, or was it Kingzone?
Trimby did it this year as well.
Yeah, but that's not as retro. And obviously, I'm a Fnatic fan, so I
Okay,
have to talk about
you just
Hylissang.
wanted to flex that historical fact. Okay, I see you.
I mean, it's not
Yes, I
much
do
flexing
believe
being a
back in
Fnatic fan at the
2017.
moment. Go on. What were you saying?
Nothing. I was just mimicking you. I was bantering a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, none of our banter games are really that good, so sorry to you guys out there. Regardless, big
Don't say
resets.
that. Don't tell them that.
Come on, man, you can't hide it forever. You can try with your awkward laugh, but nothing is gonna save our banter being awful.
I hate you.
Regardless, the resets have come through from Dusty. They are gonna move out on the map again. Still, no kills. Not that much action, actually, these past few minutes. As we are starting to slowly go crazy here on the caster disc. Regardless, CS lead now building up for the side of takes at level 6. Will be coming in. I mean, the bot lanes are about halfway there, and maybe then we could expect some action as we are also looking at the K. Yeah, go on.
If one were to create a play, right, you look at Dusty. Who's going to be your main engage if you want to look for an engage?
Yeah, you asked that question, and I am not the analyst, so I will send it back to you.
Okay,
Who's gonna
well, I tell
do
you
that
what,
engage?
like, you can't just throw out a Renata ultimate. If that ever happens, it's because you get priority and you get to be, let's say, on the Drake first, and then the enemy has to run into you, then Renata ultimate has value. If you just throw it out on them immediately, they're just going to run away. Aphelios Gravitum would be the one for the AD carry. Well, newsflash, he's running out of the Gravitum right now. Then you could look for the chain with Backlund, but then you're not really looking for a team fight, you're looking for a pick. So, yeah, difficult times for Dusty to find any reliable engage. On the opposite end, there's the Wukong, there's the Sejuani, there's the Galio, you have an Amumu, right? So for Schalke 04, it's way easier creating plays, and Dusty, way harder.
Yeah, breaking news. Something is happening. As Sten forced to flash away from the Cyclone. Linkus taking that Herald, and while they continue to chill, trying to make some plays, I will remind you, there is now dropped a new Amazon Prime box. I just opened it myself. I got Bullet Thing Kaiser. Pretty nice, pretty happy with it. Just go claim that now if you really feel like it. As there was a small trade in the mid lane as well. Jaeger still looking for the dive here, by the way. Still has the flash.
And level 6 actives as well.
Yeah, Lilith locks them both up. Curse of the Sad Mummy. Surely this should be some kills. Ascend has the bailout, but nothing can save you. First blood on Jaeger, as he will take those 400 gold.
Unfortunately, Takes it wasn't able to get the adoration stack. When you're going down in the W for Renata, last one who picks up the auto attacks in gets the kill, and the standard side almost reached Sten as he fell apart. But yep, there you have it. It's just that easy. There's nothing to really save Sten for going down in that instance. And can you cross map it? No, not really. So I think once again, Dusty, very hard for them to find meaningful engages in this game.
I mean, top lane, not much is really happening. It's like they're both on vacation in Brazil or something. But let's look at what did happen down on the bot side. Lilith, let's look at that Curse of the Sad Mummy. It's fantastic. And as you said, unfortunately, as Sten goes down, Takes it, tries to get in range for the kill. And oh, wow, that standard side just barely missed. As
Yeah.
that would have been a lot of gold in his pocket.
But even then, look at the inventory. He's sitting on an Eclipse right now. Takes it, very happy about that situation. Top side.
Ross, yeah, I mean, he's in a 1v2, but obviously the Death Realm is gonna make it a 1-for-1. Elite joined. Let's see who wins this one. It's just a standoff, Mexican standoff. Nothing happens as Kerberos just walks out. Lilith is here. He might look for something. As now Link is the one in trouble. Has to try and dash away. Gets locked up. Has the flash as well. Good Q. Good auto attack from Sten. That's a kill on Jaeger. The fight continues. Lilith. That's a fantastic snipe. The bailout is there though, and they can look to turn it back around. Here comes the hero's entrance as well. This fight just continues getting bigger, Pulbo. As now Kerberos is the one in trouble. Sten doesn't have the damage to take down Elite Giant as Kerberos. He'll just walk up and try and smack him flash forward from Decay. But Kerberos doesn't care. Another Q comes through, and they will finally take down Kerberos. Decay now running, no flash. Linkus, he's back in his gun. What is going on up in this top lane? As Decay
One more auto.
forward.
Oh, Backlund's around though. Q.
He will get the kill. Ignite is there as well. Auto attack the turret, misses the chain just for BM. What am I looking at, man?
I beg of you, don't ask me to analyze that fight because I already forgotten half of it. That was so long. Now Jaeger's still around. Oh.
Wait, what? League of Legends, baby.
Well, does get your channel through. Jaeger, so close to picking up that Cyclone and potentially
so
another
bad.
kill. I think in the end, though, that fight was beneficial for Dusty, despite it not looking like it in the beginning.
I mean, I don't even know if it's possible to get a replay of that considering how long the play was. Because I would actually ask you to analyze it, as we do see good CC coming through and then Voxing. No flash, no cleansing. That's adoration stacks. That gold he just swung by being like 2k Dusty Saber to now 1,000 gold in Schalke's favor.
I tell you why, you look at the 80 carry gold difference right now. That was just Takeset picking up 2k for himself almost.
God.
What a big lead, and the Vox missing out on a cannon wave. Big difference in the 280 carries right now. Danish rivalry between Den Voxen and Takeset, of course, but Takeset winning out on it right now.
Takes it, he takes the set. Match point. It's the best of one, so you know they're not going into game 3 regardless. Yeah, I'll stop. Thank you very much for that laugh, Football. You're very compassionate here with me on the caster desk as Jaeger. Could be looking for something in the top side. Scarecrows will take a bunk. Good prison actually to throw Linkus into, but yet again, just chilling on vacation. Nothing else happening, as that Herald will get the charm.
Lilip and the rest of members of Schalke has made their way up towards the top side as well. Of course, Rift Herald not alive, just let. But that doesn't stop you from roaming out here. Backman could look for Decay.
Yeah, Backlund doesn't really have the damage though. Remember, Decay is pretty tanky. Galio, a champion very good against these burst mages as Lilith. Yet another Q connect. This man is a sniper as Linkus will find himself in a little 1v1 against Jaeger. Monkey versus Shotgun, who will win? I don't know if you can consider that animal abuse. Regardless, Linkus, they
Jesus Christ.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I got you to laugh.
I have to give it to Lilith. He's been an absolute monster finding some of these engages. Speaking of another monster, Kerber is making his way down here. Does have that ultimate.
Yep. Okay, able to dash out as there's a Drake on the map. It hasn't really been looked at for a solid like 2-3 minutes, as both the teams have been too busy trying to comprehend what just happened up in that top lane. Eyes on Takeset though. 2.4k ahead. This man is stacked. From rags to riches, 1 kill, and he's so far ahead.
Looking to move forward to an Essence Reaver as well. Lilip. I don't think you're looking for anything here. There's more guys around the table. And what's interesting is the fact that both top laners has made their way down to this objective. Both teams are willing to fight for this Drake.
Yep, could be in trouble. Where's the handshake? The pull missed, so does the handshake actually. So no agreement to fight in this one as Lilith hits a Q but goes into the death room. Just going to buy some time. Another Q will connect. That's another decimate in the books, but that's a very good hostile takeover to buy more time. But takes it still. Really hitting in the fight. Decay now locked up. Heroes punch away. He won't really find his way out of this one. Backlund is here as well, so that's another kill secure. That's 2 for Dusty.
And that's one of the big ones for Dusty. That's how they actually want to fight these. It's in the exchange where they can kite back. The hostile takeover comes through, and then it was into great ultimate from Den Voxen. Just like that, with not the best reliable CC, Dusty have actually managed to out-team fight Schalke and pick up a Drake for themselves after the fight.
Yeah, so I don't know how this happened, but Linkus suddenly finds himself with a 3-0-3. Maybe it happened in this fight. We will now take another look at it.
Yep, let's have a look at it, because Limit, he throws out the bandit shots. Of course, bandits touches. If you cast it in the real world, it will stay there. And then when he goes into the Death Realm, he's still pulled, despite not being in the real world, but in the Death Realm. And there you have it, hostile takeover into the Flame Rover, Moonlight Vigil. Absolutely beautiful. Backlund moving first. You can see Sejuani still in the minimap trying to move forward, but it was a 4 versus 5 realistically speaking, and they punish on that. Lilith.
Yeah, this time there is no back to save you. Yet another lock up. There is flash this time on Den Voxen, so might be able to get out. And that's another cash-in.
Yep,
Oh,
318 extra.
3.6k!
This Takeset guy on the Draven is looking a little bit fat. I'm not sure about you, but I'm a little bit scared of what's going to happen when he goes for the recall, because I'm pretty sure he's going to pick up an Essence Reaver and sit on 2 items before Den Voxen even finishes his first item.
Can you flame Horizon in gold? What am I witnessing this game, man? As Kerberos will be battling it out in a 1v2 up in the top lane. And surprisingly, it's actually Schalke who decided to run out of that fight.
I would love to see Mordekaiser accidentally ult the Wukong drone just to see what that looks like. That beyond the fact though, they are just disengaging the play. Rift Herald is no longer to be taken, already picked up by Linkus, sitting in his inventory, as you can currently see. And yeah, just looking at the 280 carries in terms of the itemizations, he's almost sitting on the 3rd item. Almost sitting on the 3rd item before Den Voxen has his first. Unbelievable.
What? Honestly, man. That is a Draven doing Draven things. He chills, does nothing, just stacks CS, gets adoration stacks, walks up, autos, gets the kill, walks back out. I guess you get Draven Dift. What can I say except you're welcome, man? Jesus, this is League of Legends when it becomes League of Legends. a story of two different games, really. The top side very much going in favor of Dusty. That bot side very much going in the favor of Schalke. Let's put it like that as we hit that 16-minute mark.
Linkus does still have that Rift Herald. Question is, where do you want to use this? Mid lane is a bit problematic, just due to the fact that, well, the enemy AD carry is sitting there, and he's quite difficult to fight around. On the bot side as well, going even between DK and backline in terms of pushing in that wave. So you're stuck in this position where they're just waiting for the right time, for a mistake potentially for the opponent they can capitalize on.
And as Dusty group in the mid lane, so will Schalke, no fear. Lilip might get caught up, the change connect, good flash away, still rooted up though. Ison takes it, he already melts through Link as the bailout will not lead you out to safety. Another kill goes over to the side of Schalke. They might look for more background though. Still fancying himself in this one. Recall coming through from Sten, so they need to back off, and they do.
Yeah, and there you have it. They looked for a mistake. Lilip almost looked like he was the one making it, but Schalke, they managed to turn it around. Lilip.
Yeah, Backlund, he does what any blank does and finds an assassination to get something back. But if there's one guy he needs to assassinate, it's that Draven. He's the only reason they are even in goal.
Yeah, I mean, takes it. He needs to be patient with his stand aside, because if he keeps that active on him, well, when Backlund looks for an engage, he can use that to disengage the distortions coming through. So that's certainly what we're looking for in these small moments. But gold lead between the two teams, despite everything, it's actually pretty even, not gonna lie.
And it very much feels like Guldborg. If we say takes it falls, I think Schalke falls. Who can really hold up then? I mean, you have a Wukong that's 2k gold behind. Your top lane is almost 2k gold behind again. Yes, mid is even, but yet again, it's a Galio. He's not really gonna be 1v9ing a team fight, is he? So, to me, it looks like all eyes on Backlund to see if he can assassinate takes it.
Yeah, and even just, I mean, Kerberos as well, he might not be able to get the Delph Realm in on it, but potentially look to get the damage in that you can still get if you hit him with the E. You can't really cleanse that pool. Might be able to force a flash and even capitalize on takes it, for example, when he does not have the flashes he doesn't have right now. But once again, and I just have to highlight, AD carry department, 3 items on Draven, 1 on Voxner. That's crazy. And certainly impressive that Voxner manages to go even at least in this mid lane, and that's why you have to keep members around him at the same time. All the time as well, because if you leave them isolated, well, Schalke and Alfia, they will just look for the 2v2. Rift Herald has just been deployed.
Yeah, so let's see what that Rift Herald will do. It will simply get a charge, it seems like, as Dusty. They leave it to be, as they will go towards the Drake themselves. Princess able to clear out this ward. As Kerberos now looking for a pick, but a good sweeper to spot him out. Backlund goes forward, the change connect has to go backwards though. Don't want to get it up by too many Axis Linces. Staying in the front line here, good damage onto Jaeger Decay. Takes a bit of damage from Kerberos, still though eyes on Taken. As long as he's alive, so is the side of Schalke. That's a very, very good two-man down with the curse of that mummy. But it's onto the Vox, he takes it, still alive, and that's the one we need to look at. He could get sent into the Death Realm, and there he will be left to die. Kerberos will slam down on him, and it's 4, it's 5 for the side of Dusty.
And just like that, Dusty's back in it. We highlighted it. Finding takes it while he doesn't have the flash. Kerberos comes around, and he delivers on it. Now the gold lead exploding into the favor of Dusty, and what better timing with Baron just spawning immediately. Who can actually stop this? Jaeger is on the map, no flash, does have the smite available, but he's not even making his way up here. Dusty should be taking a significant lead here.
3 items on an 80 carry, doesn't do anything against a 1.5 item top laner. How League of Legends is that? As we take a look at the replay, Lilith, fantastic engage. But the follow-up, not really that, and Voxner able to get out. Look at takes it. What happens to him? Well, he walks in trying to get back in and then Kerberos finds him, isolates him into the Death Realm, and there's simply nothing takes it can do. He gets spawned by a single decimate, and that's the fight over.
I think it's just positional mistakes coming through from Takes-It there. He's not really looking for the squishy members on the top side of that fight, but purely looking down on Sten. Well, third Drake has spawned, and despite the Baron in position of Dusty, Schalke and Althea strikes first, but in the mid lane they're leaving themselves vulnerable, and a response will come through from Dusty.
And Voxner taking through it as quickly as possible with the red and white guns. Linces, Backlund, and Sten here to assist him as well. Kerberos is on his way in, as they will take 2 turns. Rotate up towards the top lane, it looks like, and maybe get a third.
Continue with it, played on 2 lanes, the classic when you have Baron in newer seasons here, of course. Hostile takeover is available, and this is where it becomes quite useful when you're sieging these tier 2 turrets, when you can stand around the wall and threaten any enemies who walks forward. The Voxner, good Calibrum gun as well here, got the extra range to play around with. Elite join.
Ooh, Linz's nice juke on the Glacial Prisoner. He will be able to walk out! And that's the Monkey gone instantly. Elite Giant looks to be smoked. He has Kerberos, comes in on the flank, doesn't really go for it in the first round, and Elite Giant able to walk out for now, but Backlund says goodbye with the Ignite. That's 2 more kills to Dusty.
And all of a sudden, Dusty has just come online. They were behind for the longest time, and they fight 1 victory, 1 Baron. Now they're finding multiple objectives. Top tower gone as well. Inhibitor soon to fall too. And with members still dead from the side of Schalke 04, no one's going to stop this push. Can go back, reset. Dusty, out of nowhere, has shown up to play.
Now 1 fight, 1 Baron, that's all they need. Can you ask for anything else? These NLC champions, severely underrated in my eyes. In a lot of these tier lists, I think they can make it far. My biggest worry was the best of ones. Could they make it through them? They have gotten a 1-0, should be getting a 2-0 here. Look at that goal lead. You can see the places where Takes gets kills, but you can also see when Dusty got that 1-2.
Yep, and I think that they are still feeling that impact coming through now. No need to play on top side anymore. Super minions are coming through. Baron still active for 30 seconds. Dusty looking to make the most of that. There is still an outer turret to play on the bot side. Jaeger around the vicinity.
Kerberos is there. Keep an eye on his ultimate. He will throw. Takes it into the death realm. Still no cleanse. He will die in there. And he will be left to rot in his grave. And without him, what can Schalke do? The answer, nothing. It was clean. There was no doubt as soon as Takes falls that Dusty was gonna win this game.
I feel like Takes would have done wisely to invest in the QSS with the goal lead in half, and Kerberos right there just immediately punish on that decision making. Out of nowhere, they continue with the siege. 4 members dead of Schalke 04. Backlund pushing in the mid lane. Kerberos and the rest of Dusty on the bot side, pushing in the bottom inhibitor turret, and they're just going to continue with the siege.
Why even take that inhibitor when you can take the game? Dusty looking to go 2-0 and really show that they have come to play. Game Walk awaiting next up around us. Lilith, it can look flashy, it can look good. Takes it, might take down 1, but the base will eventually fall 1 more hit from Kerberos to seal the deal.
And that's the fastest one today, which it really didn't look like it was going to be from where we started with this.